I want to quickly compare and contrast WooCommerce with Shopify. And it's really important because those two e-commerce platforms are sort of duking it out. They're trying to tell you, listen, we deserve your drop shipping or your e-commerce dollars in general. But is it really, let's say, which platform is really relevant or efficient? So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So WooCommerce and Shopify are two of the most popular e-commerce platforms available today, right? But besides WooCommerce and Shopify, you also have BigCommerce, you have Big Cartel, you have Wix, you have GoDaddy Commerce, and so on and so forth. And between the two, there are an estimated 5 million to 7 million users who have earned billions of dollars in regular e-commerce, in wholesale and retail e-commerce, but also drop shipping. And so basically what I want to do here in today's conversation is give you the pros and cons of each platform and really make you decide at the end which platform is better for you, depending on the kind of vision you have. And when we talk about BigCommerce versus, not BigCommerce, WooCommerce rather, WooCommerce versus Shopify, it's important to understand your level of experience when it comes to e-commerce. Now, Shopify is, in our view, for all intents and purposes, great for e-commerce entrepreneurs, no matter the status, no matter your caliber of expertise. So if you are a beginner, Shopify is good for you. Now the question is WooCommerce good for you if you're a beginner? Not really, based on our analysis. Okay, so this is important. So beginners should expect a modest learning curve when creating the Shopify store, but if they were to go with WooCommerce, things will be a little, I would say, a little more complicated. And it's important to understand that at the end of the day, the most relevant e-commerce platform for you depends on your goals. I want to insist on that because I don't want you to leave this conversation and thinking, hey, listen, yeah, Shopify is better than WooCommerce or WooCommerce is better than Shopify. No, it's all about your goals. It's all about your niche. It's all about your target audience. Certain e-commerce platforms are better than others depending on the geography, for example, depending on your target audience. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. We are going to have an in-depth conversation about Shopify versus WooCommerce. So here's a review I want you to really think about. So let's really sort of have a bird's eye view of a WooCommerce versus Shopify. So Shopify and WooCommerce are regularly featured on the best e-commerce platform lists for a reason, right? So they are both used to build and manage an online store through a user-friendly experience. But let's really quickly get into the nitty-gritty here. Let's go granular. So I want to talk about WooCommerce, so you have a clear idea about what this e-commerce platform is all about. And so when you think about WooCommerce, I want you to think about an open source e-commerce plugin built for the WordPress platform. This is very important. So this is an open source e-commerce plugin built for the WordPress platform. It is a plugin. WooCommerce, it is a plugin. And so open source software gives the user complete access to the source code. So essentially, this allows you for more creativity and freedom in the design element. So which means that with WooCommerce, you need to have expertise in coding or programming, or at least have somebody who has such expertise. So because this platform, I'm talking about WooCommerce here, because WooCommerce is so customizable, more third-party developers are creating new plugins, and in turn, providing business owners with a more powerful CMS, this is a content management system, from which to run their operations. So WooCommerce basically creates a hassle-free selling experience for store owners, with about 28 to 35% of all e-commerce enabled websites currently using it. So think about one third of e-commerce websites currently are on WooCommerce. It's a great choice for businesses looking for a flexible and free or affordable option for building an e-commerce platform. So this is important. So when we talk about the pros and cons of WooCommerce, the pros first. You have hundreds of themes and plugins to choose from. You have a highly customizable CMS, and you have better SEO performance compared to Shopify. What about the cons here? WooCommerce requires some online development knowledge. Plugins as well as hostings are required and can cost more. And WooCommerce needs routine maintenance. And so this is really important. So when you think about this, is what I want you to think about the analysis, or let's say the customization requirements of WooCommerce. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about Shopify versus WooCommerce. So I finished talking to you about WooCommerce. Let's talk about Shopify now. So when you think about Shopify, everybody knows Shopify, but what is it really? So Shopify allows businesses to create an online store, accept payments, and manage inventory as an all-in-one e-commerce solution. So Shopify is more than a plugin. So Shopify's biggest advantage over WooCommerce is that it takes the complicated technical aspects out of running an online business. So instead, it offers easy-to-use tools, allowing for easy setup in minutes. So because Shopify was designed for users without a programming background, the platform takes care of web hosting, security, and caching. So I'm talking here about web caching. So if you are looking for a jumpstart solution to building an online store or feel like a beginner in the technical space, in other words, if you don't have coding experience, Shopify may be the better choice for you. Let's quickly go through the pros and cons of Shopify. So with Shopify, the pros include 24/7 customer and sales assistance. And Shopify can be integrated automatically with many apps, and all hosting software is included, such as security. So we're talking about a SaaS solution, software as a service solution. What about the cons here? Well, Shopify takes a cut of our transactions action on your site unless you code your own. So if you don't code your own, Shopify is taking a cut of every transaction. And you have higher upfront costs, and SEO ranking is poor when compared to WooCommerce. So this is an important element to think about. So I want you to really get out of this video and thinking and at least knowing that WooCommerce is a plugin. WooCommerce requires some development. Shopify is not a plugin. Shopify is an all-in-one solution, but Shopify does have higher upfront cost. WooCommerce doesn't cost like the plugin itself. The cost will depend on the level of customization that you want, the level and breadth and depth of customization that you want. It really depends on you. Okay, I want to talk about pricing. So I want you to look right now, pricing for Shopify. I want you to see right now, here is a pricing for Shopify as of the date of this show. Let me give you a winner here. So how WooCommerce and Shopify stack up? Let's really go through all the granular, let's look at the granularity here. And so while those two platforms may seem very different on the surface, they share a few features. So basically, WooCommerce is basic without the bells and whistles unless you add them yourself or you have somebody actually add them for you. WooCommerce is customizable, allowing you for a more creative interface, but with creativity comes a price tag, and that cost is developer knowledge. Shopify is a more complete package for business owners who don't want the fuss of dealing with the technical side of the internet. So I want to go through some of the, I would say the comparative features here. So when we talk about free trial length, so WooCommerce and WordPress are both free and open source software. For Shopify, you can try Shopify free for 14 days, no credit card required. What about transaction fees? With WooCommerce, you will need to choose a hosting partner and purchase a domain name fee. This can vary with hosting costing around $120 a year and $15 for registering a domain name. For Shopify, basic Shopify, which is best for new e-commerce businesses with occasional in-person sales, is about $29 to $39 a month. Shopify middle package is best for growing businesses selling more online or in store, $79 a month, and it's about $79 to $109 a month. And the advanced Shopify is best for scaling businesses that require advanced reporting, so that's about $300 a month. Okay, and what about support? An in-depth support tab allows users to lodge an issue and receive a ticket. There are also loads of online forums. So basically, you don't have a centralized database or centralized service that actually tracks and answers issues. That's for WooCommerce. For Shopify, Shopify Help Center makes it easy to search and locate certain documents. It also allows for direct contact with an expert. What about online and offline usability? And for WooCommerce can only be used online, And with Shopify, online and offline usability is possible, especially with Shopify's point of sale kit, so the POS kit. So in terms of platforms, you have open source, and that's for WooCommerce. It's open source and can be modified and to the code, no limitations. With Shopify, this is a closed platform. It only allows for drag and drop as well as additional plugins. What about hosting? Hosting is not included for WooCommerce. For Shopify, it is included. And when we talk about the subdomains, WordPress sites allow for an unlimited amount of subdomains. This is kind of good, but with Shopify, you have an unlimited amount of subdomains as well. And so you also have a lot of changes that you need to think about in terms of SSL, creating coupons, accepted payment methods, monthly reports, search engine optimization tools, and so on and so forth. And blogging, both platforms, by the way, allow blogging, not a problem. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about Shopify versus WooCommerce. Let me give you a decision here. So one of the main reasons WooCommerce is the behemoth it is today is because it is free to use, right? And so it is suggested automatically when registering an account with WordPress, giving new users an easy answer to get started. It's important to remember that there is a learning curve with WooCommerce, and you have to devote some time to the online store build, either yourself or you have to hire someone to actually do it for you. Shopify, on the other hand, is easy to use from the moment you begin and can be optimized for search in a few hours. Its drawback is that it's less customizable than WooCommerce due to it being a closed platform. It's not an open-ended platform, it is a closed platform. So basically, now let's first talk about the setup and the user experience. So the thing here is that, when you think about Shopify, I want you to think about a service or a platform that is actually designed for the general public, while programmers and designers will actually lean towards WooCommerce. So WooCommerce, by default, in their case, has a much steeper learning curve for business owners. On the other hand, Shopify's platform automatically takes you through a step-by-step setup process, and by the end of it, you will have a working site. No need to wait for 2 hours or 3 hours or 2 days or 3 days or 1 month. No, you have a working site right now, and you can start making sales right away. And the dashboard for Shopify is also easy to navigate. Adding new products to your list is an intuitive process with an easy to follow guide and advising you what details to fill in next. So you have some kind of questionnaire. You have a survey that tells you that gives you all the questions you need to fill out. And once you fill it out, things are done for you right away. WooCommerce's dashboard is easy to navigate and add products to, but it is not a subscription-based platform, which means you need to do some integration yourself before you can start. So this includes getting a domain name, finding a hosting account, installing WordPress, finding and installing WordPress themes. Those are important elements. You need to have themes to sort of customize the overall look and feel of your website. And again, when we think about WooCommerce, the whole configuration is better done by someone who is comfortable with the platform and knows what plugins to use. So this is an important. So if there had to be a winner for ease of use, it would be Shopify in our view. In terms of designs and themes, once you sign up for a Shopify account, you get immediate access to over 70 to 80 free themes, as well as several paid themes. So these are polished and easy to implement. So when we talk about the themes, it really depends on the kind of like how sleek you want your overall website to be. But with Shopify, you have those 70 to 80 free themes. So this is kind of cool. If you're a beginner, this is kind of cool. You can actually avail yourself of one of those themes. It is fantastic. You also have those paid themes, if you want to go a little further. Now, Shopify is also easy when it comes to looking at, it's very easy to get carried away in the design elements. You can spend a lot on purchasing a theme from the Shopify store, but it is a one-off fee. WooCommerce offers hundreds of designs and themes, which can be automatically programmed to be mobile responsive, but it can take longer to ensure that the design of your website is clear and easy to understand, because the thing is that all the plugins have their own unique user experience to learn. Again, this is that when you think about WooCommerce, think about the fact that you need to have some programming experience, or you need to basically have somebody have it for you. And so if you're looking for a more custom layout for your e-commerce sites, going with WooCommerce is wise. But remember, you'll need to be able to invest time and money into the development. So if custom is your top priority, Shopify has premium themes ready to be used immediately. Keep in mind, this does not mean that you're basically are sharing the same themes with other people, but there are possibilities. Okay. And what about cost? Now, WooCommerce doesn't cost anything in terms of you spending money up front, but you're gonna have to think about hosting, like hosting, subdomain, and so on and so forth, because WooCommerce offers a free initial service. Okay, and you also have to think about SSL certification and one of the many WordPress hosting accounts. With Shopify, you have a 14-day free trial, after which you have to pay a monthly subscription fee, and it's all about how. Like it depends on whether you want something basic or you want something, I would say, medium or something more advanced. Okay, but the cost is already embedded; it's all in one. So think about it. In terms of support, when you think about Shopify, it's important to understand that while both platforms offer some sort of support, hands down, Shopify has a much better system. Shopify's customer service team is reachable 24/7. They are able to give you a fixed solution to your problem because the service operates on a closed platform, resulting in user errors being better documented. WooCommerce's open platform allows for anyone to integrate add-ons. Unfortunately, this means it is impossible for their support team to have a solution for every alleged issue. But if you're using WooCommerce, it is unlikely you will need anyone to assist, right? Because again, that means that you already have some kind of expertise. You already have some kind of acumen, some kind of comfort in navigating the WordPress machine, if you will. That you also have some level of some level of knowledge when it comes to programming and coding. So support, Shopify is a little better. But what about SEO? If you want your website to be discovered on Google's search engine results page, the SERPs, you need to plan for search engine optimization, right? And Shopify has a built-in SEO plugin and helps with basic SEO practices such as meta information and site copy. It's also important to note that Shopify sites load faster on average when compared to WooCommerce sites. This can give your site even more juice in the Google rankings. And but what about WooCommerce? WooCommerce is integrated into WordPress, which is a blogging platform. It also allows the users to alter body content, URLs, meta description, alt tags, and other on-page elements with amazing SEO tools. This means that WooCommerce is better for those looking to rank well on Google. Now, this ability to rank well on Google comes with extra effort, so you got to really think about that. And when we talk about you trying to really rank better on Google, it means that you're going to have to spend more time on things like metadata, things like description, things like alt tags, things like body content. You're going to have to spend that time beforehand so you can see the advantage later on in Google. So it's one of those things you need to really plan ahead. Again, chances are if you're using WooCommerce, you have a basic knowledge, or I would say even more than basic knowledge, so you should be fine in terms of navigating the arcanes of e-commerce and search engine optimization. When we talk about dropshipping, so dropshipping is an important element for e-commerce entrepreneurs. So when starting an e-commerce site, you'll need to ensure that your clientele gets what they ordered. So this means integrating delivery vendors into your website. So the good thing about Shopify is that Shopify has several popular vendors who will deliver your goods. The cost involved can vary, as well as their own monthly membership fees or a one-off cost. So, but you are limited to Shopify's plugins, right? So we're talking about everything from what? We're talking about Doba to Spocket. We're talking about Zendrop. We're talking about Deezers. We're talking about Ali Dropship. We're talking about a lot of players here. And so the thing here is that WooCommerce allows you to browse through hundreds of options and decide what you need. For example, if you are a small business with, let's say, one or two deliveries a month, you'll be interested in a per item delivery rather than a monthly subscription. So if you're looking for a delivery solution customized just for your company, we would recommend WooCommerce. Again, because the level of customization, the freedom that comes with that customization is really, this is what you find in WooCommerce. In Shopify, you sort of like, locked in a closed-end program, in a closed-end platform. So this comes with a lack of flexibility. So WooCommerce versus Shopify, what is the bottom line here? What is our opinion? What is our recommendation? So every business has its own set of unique requirements that need to be met, right? So we can't really tell you, hey, right now, it's just better to go with Shopify versus WooCommerce. The question is, what are your needs? What are your needs? And what kind of, what level of expertise do you have when it comes to website designs in general, website programming, website coding, okay? And the thing here is that, so if you're planning on making a smooth transition into the e-commerce world, you want to choose the platform that best suits your needs. So Shopify is the choice for your business if you want an all-in-one platform for your e-commerce store that gets everything running quickly while offering lots of easy-to-use features and apps. And in addition, there is a great support staff waiting to assist you with any problems as well as loads of integration options. WooCommerce is for you if you already have a WordPress website or are planning on creating one and you want to take on more control of your online store or have the time to dedicate to the details of design on this platform. It is highly adaptable, serves better SEO purposes, and can be scaled up enormously. And at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide what your business needs and wants. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Let me do a quick recap here. So in Shopify versus WooCommerce, I gave you the overview. I also talked about the review. I looked at each platform. We actually compared and contrasted each platform and sort of trying to find a winner. And in the decision, I also talked about the setup and user experience, designs and themes, cost, support, SEO, dropshipping, and that's it. Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you another time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.